Welcome to Night Shift Horror Stories, where every episode tells a story. Some are forgotten. Others were buried on purpose. On this channel, we uncover the eerie, the hidden, and the downright unexplainable. If you're ready to look where others won't, subscribe and let's begin. Tonight, we're exploring true stories of winter disappearances, people who vanished in freezing conditions with little to no explanation. Winter has a way of changing everything. Snow erases footprints. Cold silences sound. Darkness arrives earlier and stays longer. For investigators, winter is one of the most difficult seasons to search. Weather destroys evidence. Remote locations become unreachable. And sometimes the only thing left behind is a question that never gets answered. Tonight, we're exploring 5 unexplained winter disappearances. True cases where individuals vanish during the coldest time of year, leaving behind confusion, strange details, and stories that still don't fully make sense. These are not legends. These are not fictional tales. These are real people who were last seen in winter. Let's begin. Number 5, Derek Engebretson. Our first story takes place on December 5th, 1998. 8-year-old Derek James Engebretson was searching for a Christmas tree with his father and grandfather near Rocky Point, Oregon, in the snow-covered Winema National Forest. The three were walking together most of the time that day and were never very far from the paved road. But at one point, Robert walked ahead of Derek and his grandfather. A little later, Derek wanted to catch up with his father, just up the snowy hill and out of sight. The grandfather told Derek to follow his father's footsteps in the snow. The boy has been unreported since. Searchers later found a small snow angel and footprints looping back toward the road. But when authorities arrived, a blizzard had erased most signs of his path. A blizzard hit the area the evening Derek was reported missing, which destroyed any tracks that may have been left. Despite extensive ground searches and volunteer efforts, no trace of Derek was ever recovered. Over 10,000 hours were logged searching the forest, but the blizzard conditions made it dangerous and difficult to maintain a consistent search. Some witnesses later reported seeing an unidentified vehicle near the search area that day, but nothing was ever confirmed. To this day, his disappearance remains a chilling reminder of how quickly winter conditions can swallow not only a trail, but an entire life's path. 4. Manon Dubé, on January 27, 1978. 10-year-old Manon Dubé and her younger sister, Chantal, had been sledding in the parking lot behind a Caisse Populaire bank on Rue Belvedere in Sherbrooke, Friday, January 27, 1978. At around 7:30 p.m., once it started to grow dark, the Dubé siblings and their friends decided it was time to head home. Approximately 1 block from the apartment building, Chantal ran ahead out of the cold, leaving Dubé behind on the street corner. This would be the last time Dubé was seen alive. When Dubé failed to arrive home later that night, her mother Jeanine immediately reported her missing. She was last seen wearing a navy blue snowsuit, a salmon-colored scarf, a toque, red mittens, and snow boots. On March 24, 1978, Good Friday, Dubé's body was found on an isolated road 19 miles from Sherbrooke, face down and partially frozen in a stream, by 2 teenagers from Montreal. Dubé had the same winter clothes on, save 1 red mitten and her toque, which was eventually recovered. From when she was last seen, there was a gash on her forehead that may have been caused by the jagged ice, and she also had suffered broken bones. Police estimated that her body was most likely there for most of the 2 months she was missing. The cause of her death remains undetermined, but her disappearance and the harsh winter conditions make this a case that continues to haunt the region. Number 3. Maura Murray. On February 9, 2004, 21-year-old Maura was driving on rural Route 112 in New Hampshire when her car ended up off the snowy road. Maura Murray was 21 years old at the time of her disappearance. She was a nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst and had previously attended the United States Military Academy at West Point. Maura was an avid runner who enjoyed hiking in the White Mountains. Earlier in the day on February 9th, she was captured on ATM surveillance footage wearing a dark jacket and jeans. Maura did not tell anyone of her intended trip to New Hampshire. located about 2.5 hours from campus. Witnesses at the scene saw her walking around the vehicle, cold but unharmed. Yet when a bus driver went for help, Murray was gone. Police later found the parked vehicle and personal items, but no sign of her in the woods or snow nearby. A tracking dog followed a scent from one of her gloves for about 100 meters before it vanished. Despite reported sightings and massive searches over the years, no confirmed trace of her has ever been found. The case remains open as an active missing persons investigation, and her family continues to search and raise awareness nearly 2 decades later. There 2. Brandon Swanson. One of the most chilling cold weather disappearances of the 21st century happened on the night of May 14, 2008, a cold night in rural Minnesota. 19-year-old Brandon Swanson called his parents after his car got stuck in a ditch. For nearly 50 minutes, he stayed on the phone with them while trying to walk toward town across frozen fields. Then, mid-call, he suddenly exclaimed, "Oh," and the line went dead. Search teams found Brandon's car about 25 miles from where he thought it was, and bloodhounds picked up his scent leading toward the Yellow Medicine River. And then nothing. Despite extensive searches, sonar scans, and tracking efforts, no trace of Brandon has ever been uncovered. His disappearance remains unsolved, and the final moments of his last phone call continue to puzzle investigators and armchair sleuths alike. Number 1. Dyatlov Pass Incident, our final case, often described as one of the most mysterious cold weather tragedies, occurred on February 1st to 2nd, 1959 in the northern Ural Mountains of the former Soviet Union. A group of 9 experienced hikers from the Ural Polytechnic Institute set out in deep winter conditions and never made it back. Searchers found their tent cut open from the inside and footprints leading out into the freezing snow. Over the next weeks, several bodies were discovered, some in light clothing far from camp, others with injuries that puzzled investigators. The Soviet inquiry labeled the cause an overwhelming natural force, but decades of research and speculation have failed to produce a definitive explanation. Some theories suggest a slab avalanche or weather event forced the group out into the night. Others focus on odd injuries and strange circumstances at the site. Whatever happened that winter night, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the most haunting and debated disappearances in cold weather history. That's it for today's spooky episode. Make sure to subscribe and hit the like button for more eerie stories and unexplained mysteries. Until next time, keep your lights on, or don't.